Hello, and welcome to Old Sins and Sinners here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me as usual will be Eric as Alexander, Carr as Zeke, Patrick as Cyrus,
Good evening, everyone.
and Nix as Lucille.
Howdy.
Now, who remembers where we left off last time?
We were in a sewer
Yes,
fighting a bunch of demon cats that like are working on their hind legs.
and have hooves on their hind legs.
Yeah.
Lulu became the rat queen.
Oh, I'd forgotten about the rat thing. Yep.
Our friend would be very displeased.
Let's see, and you were down there with a biker chick named Sandy.
Yep.
A younger couple of siblings, Kit Kat and Dan.
One of
And
the
Darnell, who
allied-
was apparently belonged to a different group.
Yes.
And other Zeke that only has one E in his name. An old buddy of Patrick's and Alexander's. From the war. Let's see, and I believe Mace had just been drug off into the darkness.
Correct.
Alexander is fuming, going to kill some cats.
They are not cats. They're not even particularly cat-like. Their face is much more rodent-looking.
Mm.
And they have quasi-prehensile tails.
And they can screech. It's just that it.
Well, that is not something that separates them from cats, though.
Yeah.
All right, and how many yellatooths did we have left?
I think the one in front of us got taken out. Because that's the one that got hit by the grenade.
Yeah, there was one around the corner. It got dropped. There was one behind you that I think Alexander bubblegummed him into the wall. Akira style.
Got splatted.
There were two more that were coming from further down in the darkness that had leapt. One of them is the one that grabbed Mace and ran off. I think the second one of those is still up.
Discord needs to get its shit together.
That
Oh,
will
is it still
never
giving you
happen.
issues?
Yeah, it just
Just-
completely froze up on me and then disconnected me from the call.
And then reconnected you.
Hmm.
All right, so
So,
you got one yellow
I
tooth
was
in front of
thinking-
you. Well, you were here last week. I'm sure you remember what happened.
Yeah. Whose turn is it?
I think we had just finished a turn order.
Yeah, because I think was Zay the last in the turn order?
It was, yeah, it was.
Or Mace?
She went after she was in the batch of y'all that goes after the yellow tooth. I think I may have saved her for last that round. So that gets us back at the top of the order with Zeke and Lulu.
So he said that there was one left?
Yes, I believe there's one standing in front of y'all.
Can't I know Zeke was facing the way that the one lady ran around the corner. So this one would probably be the way Lulu is facing? I think.
No, around the corner was in front of you. In front of the group.
Mm-hmm.
You and Lulu were
Right.
initially fighting the one behind you. Now, if you go up a ways,
Right,
there's the turn to the left, which had one that's dead now.
Yeah.
Which is along the path y'all were going. And then these two had, from further up the tunnel, not the side passage, but further up the passage y'all were already in, there were two coming back. One of those has now run off with Mace, and the other one is standing there. So up towards the front where I think Darnell and Sandy are. I think Alexander may be up there somewhere. I think Lulu is still kind of in the middle of the group with her horde of rats around her. All right, so who wants to go first? Zeke or Lulu?
I think I went first.
If you want to, go for it.
She's got those rats. She wants to do something with them.
Yeah, they're gonna be sticked on the last one
All right.
that we have.
All right, so you can make these things attack it, I assume. Does the ability say...
These creatures do your bidding for as long as you focus your attention, but you must use your action each turn to direct them.
Mm. All right, so a horde of smaller animals or a single level 4 beast. So we will count the horde as a level 4 beast effectively. I believe a level 4 beast does, is that 4 damage, I think? Alright, so your rats swarm forward, and, it's swatting someone on the side, but they're crawling up its legs. For the rest of y'all, it's kind of a horrific thing to see. It's like, you're glad the rats are on your side, but you're probably going to be seeing that in your nightmares for some time to come.
Zeke is very much like, I'm glad you're on my side.
So this thing is bleeding from, probably 50 different small wounds. And it's slapping rats off of it. That tail is going 90 to nothing. Slapping them off the back of its legs and off its back. Between that other damage he's taking, he does not look like he is in good shape at all.
If it's not looking good at all, Zeke's going to go up and punch it.
All right.
Or attempt to, at least. What was the difficulty?
Level 4.
Four damage.
All right, it goes down. The rats don't seem to realize it's dead at first. They continue chewing on the body.
Oh, dear.
So suddenly everything in the sewer is quiet. Except for the sound of feeding rats.
Alexander just he pulls his torch out, flicks it on, marches off in the direction that Maggie got taken.
Mm-hmm. Zeke make sure Lulu's okay, and then start following if everyone else does.
May as well.
May as well.
Everybody falls in the
Yes.
line behind Alexander?
Yep.
Uh,
The rats are scurrying forward.
The rats go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah.
Yeah.
She'll send a rat forward as long as Zeke is willing to use beast scrying.
Let me.
I can't imagine the rat is actually going to be moving that much faster than Alexander, as far as how much ground he can cover.
Mm-mm.
So Alexander's marching at the lead. Darnell and Sandy are kind of flanking him on either side, like just kind of right
I'm
there at his
following
shoulder.
I'm following behind him.
Yep.
Zeke with 1E is in the middle of the pack. Dan and his sister Kit Kat are bringing up the rear. So, y'all hustle down. There's just more sewer and more sewer.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, Darnell's like, "This could be a distraction to stop us from getting to the nest."
The downside is you're probably right. If these things are smart enough to set it up an ambush, they're smart enough for a diversion.
Think maybe we should split the group. I mean, we got a decent sized group. We could split it into two groups that could still take care of themselves.
Actually, ask Alexander. How many? How many? How much help do you need tracking down Mace?
That depends on how many there are.
Darnell's like, we killed 4 of them. I mean, how many of them things could there be without it having, without it becoming a lot more obvious that they were here? You can only hide, even in a town this size, you can only hide so many of those things if they're feeding in an area.
Were all the victims from the same area, or were they spread out?
They were spread out.
They were spread out over this part of town, though. It was all in the same couple of neighborhoods that y'all been looking through.
There isn't any way of telling. They'll die all the same.
Darnell's like, so we're splitting up or not?
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna have to.
Do what you want. And he just keeps marching.
Sandy keeps marching with you.
Zeke will look at Lulu.
She's currently looking between the two groups, I suppose.
We're gonna need to take out the nest. The only reason why I'm hesitating because I know he's probably gonna need a tracker, and But actually, just think about this. It was. Let's see. Sandy, do you think you can help him track?
Sure.
All right. To make things easier, I'll basically Zeke pointing to my Zeke. Darnell, me, and I think probably the twins will take out the nest. Mostly pointing to our Zeke
Hmm.
and Lucille. Give Mace a hand. Maybe your little friends can give us a hand too. Pointing to the swarm of rats.
We'll make sure Alexander doesn't do anything reckless.
That's what I'm hoping.
All right, so Lulu, Zeke, Alex, and Sandy are continuing forward.
Yep.
Darnell, Cyrus, Zeke with one E, Kit Kat, and
the
Dan
twins.
are going to take out the nest. All right. When you rattle this off, Cyrus, Kit Kat and Dan look over at Sandy, and she gives them a nod, and they fall in with you.
All right.
So y'all split up. Y'all drop back, to the side passage. Sandy steps in front of Alexander and takes the lead. So Cyrus's group, you're basically following a map. You're not really having to track anything per se.
Just as an aside, that is getting activated.
Who's getting the +1?
So it looks like ice starts forming on Alexander's clothing, and like a heavy chill kind of settles on Lucille.
I don't like it when he's mad. His magic is so cold.
I bet Zeke's like, I don't either, and then turn into a ferret and become a scarf.
Had you shape changed in front of any of your buddies up to this point? I can't remember.
Nope. And currently, Sandy is to him.
Well, I mean, she's a few steps in front of Alexander's, not.
Mhm. But no, he has not.
And
Oh yeah, she's the only not player in this group though. So okay.
Yep.
and quick question on this one because I had to freeze because for some reason my notes from last week just decided to crap out on me and delete half of them. What was the name of the sort of the granny that Darnell works for?
I don't think he had mentioned.
Yes, because it was like Macy, I think something, or I couldn't remember because that came up.
I know Claire is the one that Sandy works with.
Because I remember seeing that in my notes, and I knew that came up. That's why I had to ask.
I don't have it written down right here. I'll have to check last week's video.
What were the two kids' names again, too?
Dan and Kit Kat.
Dan and Kit Kat.
Kit Kat obviously being a nickname. I don't know. It's the 70s. Hippie parents. Who knows?
Well, Moon Unit was around this time, so.
That's fair. All right, so Patrick, your crew continues down following the map. As you get closer to your destination, it's starting to smell like musty and kind of or musky, I should say. Starting to have this animal den smell, or and this hint of ammonia. Like if you've ever been to, I used to have some friends that had way too many pets and way too small an apartment. So sometimes you'd walk in and just get hit in the face with the ammonia.
Is this where the Authority game we played at?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot you were in part of that.
Yeah, because I had to drop out just because they got more cats, and I couldn't even be in their apartment anymore. A cat I can handle, but more than that, my allergies start kicking.
They had what, 3 or 4 cats, some ferrets, a couple of rabbits. Yeah, it was a lot.
Dear Lord.
And then they had a kid, and I haven't heard any news beyond
that. Anyway, so you're, even without the ambush as evidence, you're pretty sure you're on the right track.
Yep.
And then you step on something that slides under your foot. You look down and you realize you're stepping on a long bone. It's like you stepped on it and it kind of rolled under your foot. Not enough to trip you up or anything.
It's a human bone, isn't it?
It does look suspiciously like it might be a bone from a human forearm, yeah.
I pick it up, look at it, we're getting close. I reload and double check the pistol.
When you pick it up, you can see gnaw marks on it.
I also turn to Zeke and go, how good are you on ammo?
He does a quick check. I should be good.
Alright. Let's get this done, and hopefully we can give a hand finding Mace. Because the last thing I want is Alex going off.
At least he can't set things on fire this time.
Yeah.
About that.
Please don't do a thunderstorm inside the sewers.
I cast Thunder Spell. No!
You're gonna kill us.
Look, I didn't ask how big the room was. I said I cast Fireball.
No. You're down in tightly packed tunnels. Clearly, thunder-based damage is what you want to go for. Loud noises. As if all the gunfire isn't leaving y'all half deaf after this anyway. So you continue ahead. You get to this, you get to basically where this tunnel takes one last little turn and then just sort of ends. Like they never really came back and finished up what they had intended on this side. And you remember, from the maps above, this runs to a relatively undeveloped area that they, either they stopped here in case they needed it in the future, or there were some development plans that didn't come through or something. The smell is extremely unpleasant.
Yep.
Zeke has got he's got a bandana out over his mouth, tied it around his nose and mouth. Though from the look of disgust you can see in his eyes, you don't think it's doing much good. The locals are, kind of scrunching their nose up too. I think this is actually worse than a regular sewer smell. But you step into this area, and there is garbage and old ratty blankets, old clothes, just sort of piled up against the sides of the walls in here. You can tell something has been more or less making a nest. Or at least using this stuff as bedding.
Do we see any signs of smaller ones? Traces of eggs? Because you don't know.
You don't see any traces of eggs, per se. You do see an area that's like built up and more kind of roundish. Like think of a big pile of clothes, and they like the middle of the press, well, clothes and garbage. It's kind of pressed down and hollowed out. It's probably the thing in here that looks the most like actual nest like, like bird nest like. Go ahead and give me a perception roll or a tracking roll or something like that. If you're looking around.
Oh. He doesn't get the asset anymore.
He is too far away.
Oh no.
He's too far from Lucille.
Well, let's see.
See, I've got
Is this a
lights with you, so this will be a 3.
3, okay.
A tree.
Worst part is, one away from being able to re-roll it too.
Oh, that's right. You get to re-roll your 1s, but your 2s you can do nothing with.
Yep. But one of the things that I do, just to be on the safe side and uncertain, because this is what I was about to say before you asked, I pick up one of the bones, a long one, and peel back basically where it's kind of huddled up. Literally, I'm just using a stick to kind of peel and get a look at it.
Okay, you start peeling the nest apart.
Yeah.
These clothes are kind of crusty. It's like there's some sort of dried fluid. That's dried and hardened slightly, and it's flaky as you start moving it around. Zeke starts looking. Zeke's looking around. Everybody, all the locals that are with you. Darnell does not look happy. This place looks big enough to hold everything, all of them we killed, and that many again.
Yep.
He goes, and you see the little indentions and all that, all that garbage and bedding packed up. He's going around like counting what the little indentions. He said it looks like something's been sleeping there.
Yep.
That one looks. These two over here look awful big.
We start making a count. I'll count and you do it, and we'll double check. I kind of turn to Kit Kat and her brother and go, with Zeke, keep an eye on us. We got to take stock.
They nod, and they take up positions near the entranceway. Best you can tell, there's room in here for about 11 of them. Assuming they were all sleeping at the same time, then it looks like about 11 spots, not counting that big area that you were picking apart. Something about it looks different, looks more intentional. Where the rest of these little depressions, it just looked like something dropped down there and just wallowed around while it was sleeping. Where that one you were picking apart, the really nest-looking one, looked more deliberately made.
I'm going to, because I should have that knowledge. Lore of flesh-eating non-humanoid creatures. And is this a 4 or a 3 like the nest was?
This one will be a 4.
Success.
And this is for you examining the nest.
Yes.
If you had to guess, you would say they use that nesting area, we'll just call it the nest. That is probably where they've been giving birth. Maybe the young stay in there, when they're little.
But there's clearly none in there now.
Correct. Yeah, there's nothing living in here right now.
Specifically living.
Yeah, you don't see anything. You don't see anything moving around. You do find some, in addition to the bones, some bits and pieces. Some of the bits and pieces still have a little bit of meat on them.
Yep.
Doesn't look like they drug any entire bodies down here.
They were just dropping what little they had in there so that the child or children could feed.
Quite possibly.
Now we gotta... And just to ask, there are male and female of these, correct?
Presumably. From your knowledge, you're pretty sure they breed more or less like normal creatures.
Okay.
Now, the ones you were fighting, in the middle of a fight, you weren't really noticing anything particularly different.
Yeah.
But, you didn't exactly stop to examine the bodies closely or, you didn't see any dangly bits, but maybe they're retractable,
Yeah.
But the important thing is that you don't find any of the creatures. Plenty of tracks all over the place. There's well, they just say they didn't leave and go somewhere else to do their business, shall we say?
Yeah.
It's just sort of the middle of the floor. Does not appear to be in the bedding itself. Other than traces where they probably stepped in some and tracked it in.
Oh, right. And this is specifically no way in or no way out of this. And they're not here.
Correct. Yeah, this is a dead end, so they would have to kind of go out the way you came in.
Actually, I let everybody know that looks like in other words, they're all out hunting or they moved. Because it's obvious they've been sleeping here, but they're not. And I kind of turned to Darnell. I got about 11. Is that what you got?
Pretty much. I mean, and whatever he gestured over there, and whatever that was for.
And I will attempt to track.
Okay, give me another roll.
Come on, tracking. There's initiative. Gotta remember that for the future. I forgot about that last time. There it is. Difficulty?
Oh, we're going to give this one... They're usually really good with stealth, but they've left so much trail around right now that... We'll go with a 4.
Now, yeah, go ahead and spin one of those. Success.
So obviously there's a ton of tracks in this place because this is where they were living. They were tramping all over the place.
Yeah.
But you start looking back. You start trying to find the freshest ones that are like leaving. So you head back out the way you came. Right at the entrance, though, you also find some boot tracks. And there seem to be several of these creatures, tracks from some of these creatures. It looks like they were marching along with him, with whoever was in the boots.
Right? Things just got a lot more complicated, everybody.
Darnell's like, what do you mean? And then you
There's
see
a
Kit Kat steps forward and points at the boot. You know, like she saw you looking in that area, and then she spots the boot. She points at it, and Dan goes, boots.
Yeah, these yellow tails were surrounded by a person. And it's walking with them. These things either it's got an ally or a master.
Who in the world would ally themselves with? Well, never mind. There's all kinds of bent
the
people in
second
the world.
he says that, I just kind of look at him like, you and I both know. And I will take out pad and pencil and do a quick sketch, possible size and tread, and see if I can actually possible remembrance of that.
Okay.
But we follow off.
So you head back the way you came. And all those tracks, they stop at a ladder built into the wall that goes up to a manhole cover. Y'all had passed it, coming back this way. But it's well before you get to the intersection where y'all had to fight.
I pull out the map and kind of get a gauge about where I am in relation. Basically, try to figure out where that hole comes out of.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Looks like it comes out best you can tell, would be an alleyway. Your map doesn't have like specifically what businesses are in the area, but it's an area that doesn't look all that different from where y'all came in. Just a manhole cover in one of the alleys. I mean, it's a good mile or two from where y'all came in, though. Well, as the crow flies, probably not that far. Probably a mile or two as y'all walked up under here.
I'll have the gun in one hand, climb it up, and I'll let everybody know they came up here.
Years it go. Thank God. At least we can get out of the sewer.
Can't say I'm particularly fond of the stink either. And lift up the manhole, do a quick scan.
Looks clear.
Need to make a perception check or no?
No, it looks. I just said it looks clear. If you want to make a perception check, you can, though.
It's just that my DMBS senses are triggering.
Or maybe I was trying to get you to move along. It could go either way. Either way you decide to do it, it could bite you.
Demanding, difficult, challenging?
Difficult. 4.
Is it clear?
It appears to be clear. You think you see a little bit of movement behind a dumpster. But that's not like a big enough area for one of these things to be hiding.
All right. I go through.
All right, so you climb up. Darnell's coming up right behind you, followed by Zeke, and then the twins bring up the rear.
I check behind the dumpster where I saw it, just to be on the safe side.
There is a man like crouched. Well, not crouched, kind of. He's sitting there, knees pulled up to his chest, kind of hugging his head. He's got one hand over his own mouth and just wide, panicked eyes.
They kind of kneel down. Something tells me you saw the things we're hunting. Which way did they go?
He flinches away from me at first. Give me a... See if you can... get him to respond in any kind of cohesive or coherent manner.
Trained in persuasion.
That'll do it. This will be a 3. Okay. I saw the devil. I saw devils climbing out of the sewers.
They're not devils because they can die like any other beast. Was there anyone with them?
There was a man. Yeah, there was a man.
Can you describe him? It basically sees me flip open the pad.
It was dark. I couldn't make out much. I think he was wearing a suit. Pretty sure it was a tweed suit. But he was wearing it under a duster. Not sure how tall he was. I mean, he didn't look that tall next to those creatures. The devils were taller.
We ran into them too, and if it makes you feel better, they can die. We did already kill 2 of them.
The man had at least a I don't know, 6 or 8 of them with him. Different size. Some of them were a little bit, some of them were taller than him, like 6.5, 7 foot maybe. Not a lot taller than a man. There was one that was a lot bigger though, and then there were several that just came up to his waist. They were falling after him like a pack of dogs.
All right, thank you, sir. Bravely keep that description down. And what's your name, son?
About to say Jim, but I've already been using Jim's.
It's just like
John. His name is John. And you can smell the alcohol, kind of on him.
Yeah. Well, which way did they head off?
They went down to the end of an alleyway there, and they all climbed up in this delivery truck.
Did you see what was the name on it?
I think it was a B&L truck.
And you hear an audible.
You hear behind you. You hear Darnell, son of a bitch.
And to which I say, I'm not surprised. Thank you, John. to see which way the truck went.
Uh,
Like basically left or right down
Oh.
up down the street, that sort of thing.
it was facing like it would go to the right.
All right. Thank you, John. And stay safe and be warned, I do know those things are using the sewer, so avoid manhole covers at all costs right now.
Yeah. Good luck hunting him down. It's like as he says that, it's like he's as he's saying that, it's like he's clocking how well armed you guys are.
Yeah.
Oh.
I kind of turned to Darnell and basically gathered the group around and asking Darnell or Kit Kat and, well, know of any B&L places in town?
Knoxville's got a railroad, so there's a B&L presence here. We try not to tangle with them directly if we can help it. Though sometimes it can't be helped. Not with the stuff they dabble in.
Yeah, because that's the worst part. Me and Zeke here first lost a friend in what we think where they were found were in a B&L mine. That's where we first were tangled with these things. They were heading this way. I just thought it was like a migration, but now I have to think they're actually...
There might be a purpose behind it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I guess we need to get back. I guess get back where we originally came in at. We should have really set up where we were going to meet up with the other group.
Yep. Hoping they're...
Yeah, hopefully they'll have better luck than us.
Yep.
Speaking of people may or may not having better luck.
This is the point in there where we call it the transition time.
Yep. Scene change. All right, so y'all are marching along inside the sewer with the rest of y'all. At a decent pace. It's not a full run. But Sandy and Alex are keeping y'all like kind of a power walk. Every once in a while when you come to an intersection or something, she's got to stop for a minute and look around. And eventually you come to a ladder that leads up. You climb up out on a street. And this looks like a little access road. It's not an alleyway, but it's not one of the main roads. You're coming up behind a fairly large grocery store. There's the loading dock. It's got a loading dock. It's late enough by now. The store seems to be closed. But there's not a lot of houses with a direct, that would have a direct view to this. There's only one or two security lights, and they're over closer to the store. Sandy climbs out, and she's looking around. She's checking the edge of the road. She's like, I can tell they came up here. And do you smell that? I think I'm picking up a slight hint of diesel in the air. Zeke, give me a perception.
All right.
You're still in Ferrocorp.
What's the difficulty? Yep. What's the
We'll say difficulty
Difficulty?
4. We'll say difficulty 4.
I'm going to check something because I'm gonna pull up the PDF real quick.
Okay. Lucille, do you have all your rats scurry out of the sewer too?
No.
And sorry, what was the difficulty?
I believe I said 4.
I think I get an asset for Lucille.
Mhm.
Yep. You're close enough to her. And I'm, clinging to her is close enough.
Let's see us.
You stiff the air, and yeah, you can pick up a little lingering diesel. Like you'd suspect it probably sat here idling for a little bit.
He'll tell that to to Lulu because he's still in ferret form.
About this time when Sandy looks up, she's telling Alexander what she found. She looks over at the rest of you. Is Zeke still in the sewer? Did we lose somebody?
No, he's here.
She raises her hand and points at the ferret around her
The
neck.
ferret is waving.
She gets this look on her face. It reminds you of a baby right before it passes gas. And then she bursts out laughing. You realize she was trying to hold it back. I have met people that turn into wolves. I did not know there were people that turned into ferrets.
This is just one of the many things he can do.
I will look around. Is there anyone on the street?
No.
Okay. He will hop down next to Lulu and shift into a wolf and just sit there like a happy dog.
Can you turn into a... Never mind. Focus. We've got a missing person. I'm pretty sure they were sitting in this lane, which means they were heading that way. She starts marching up that direction.
Gonna follow.
She's like, if they got in a vehicle, there's no way we're going to be able to track them. Can those things drive?
What a
They
shame.
might
Our
not
main
be able to.
expert is not here.
They might not be able to drive, but somebody else might be able to.
I'm sorry, Alex. I don't have a way to track a truck driving along the road. Oh, what am I going to tell Claire? I was supposed to keep y'all safe.
Of character question.
Mm-hmm.
Could you make Mace your prey?
In theory,
You've seen her, and she has magic in her blood.
yeah. It doesn't necessarily say I have to see them to activate it.
You just have to have seen them.
Yeah. It just says choose a magical creature or object. Or one that's used magic or had magic used on them.
people that can use magic are not necessarily going to count as magical creatures.
Yes, but he's thoroughly aware that she is carrying a pair of artifacts on her right now.
What artifacts is she carrying?
Dim gloves.
Why would she still be packing them gloves? She used it for her
didn't give
purpose.
them away. She didn't give them back yet. She still has them.
They're probably in a drawer at home.
She put them on when we went down here.
Did she?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she did.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get out of it. No, I'm kidding.
I remember these things.
It doesn't really matter. I'm already ready for this scenario. So.
Oh yeah, he's gonna activate it and his eyes start glowing.
She takes a step back. And then looks past him to the rest of y'all who, can't see his eyes at just a second. She goes, I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something. His eyes are glowing.
You can track a different way.
So now trained in all tasks involving following, hunting, finding, interacting with, and understanding them. So he's looking for them gloves.
Ooh, but you're still trying to track with no trail, so that's going to be a jacked up difficulty.
Yeah, tracking with no trail. However, he's also tracking an artifact, so that leaves an aura.
Well, that's the only reason you're able to do this at all.
Fair enough.
All right, give me a tracking roll.
Mm-hmm.
We'll make it a 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder and give him encourage.
Is eased by 3 steps. Okay.
So it's now
Also, you can
3.
enable others.
Okay.
So you get the benefits of the help action without actually being, me doing anything.
Okay. I don't know if this would trigger expert skill or not.
What is expert skill?
Because it's been lowered to a
Mace.
difficulty 3 at this point because
Yeah, it would work then. Because you are
yeah,
considered
she got it.
trained with that skill for the duration of.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out like the byplay because it's not like I'm using the train thing to reduce it. The task was eased, so it technically got reduced to a difficulty 3 before I even roll. Because it says difficulty 6. The limit is difficulty 4 or lower. However, with encourage,
Yeah, it lowers.
starting difficulty got dropped to 3.
Yeah, I would say that would. I'd say that would work.
Cool. So I ought to succeed then.
All right. So you pick up, kind of being that way.
His head just sort of snaps in a direction, starts marching.
Alex,
I can feel her gloves.
maybe so, but shouldn't we try and get the others?
Or Sandy speaks up. Or a car, since we're following a vehicle. I mean, just the speed is going to be a factor.
That too?
Let's find one quickly.
So y'all hustle down the street. You pass a couple of homes.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sandy goes, wait here. And you just hear her walk up. It's this brick house with like a carport, not a garage, but a carport.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely not stealing them.
It's dark in there. It's kind of dark in there. You can see her moving around. And then suddenly the car door opens. She pops into the neutral and starts like pushing the car. down the
See how-
driveway. Slight tilt to the driveway, so once she gets it out of the carport, it's fairly easy for her to get it, down into the street.
Mhm.
All right, everybody get in.
He climbs in.
She pulls a couple of tools out of her jacket, and in no time she's got the thing, the steering column popped open and is hot wiring the car.
If Lulu's getting in, so will Zeke.
She'll get in reluctantly. We're just adding more crimes to the list.
Oh, honey, the list I've got. And then she takes off. As she's driving, she pulls out a cigarette, puts it in, reaches down, presses the cigarette lighter. For any of y'all old enough to remember when cars had those.
Mm-hmm. He's just keeping his gaze firmly in the direction he can feel the gloves.
Yeah, Sandy's like, you need help me come to an intersection or anything, you just give me directions.
And he will.
Alright, so y'all are traveling along.
I'm just imagining the window rolled down and Zeke with his head out like a like a dog.
That may or may not be what's happening. I don't know what you're talking about.
About that time we passed the other group.
Tail wagging.
Alright. So y'all are heading basically kind of southwest.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like they're crossing town. You drive past Knoxville Station. And are headed up towards the excuse me, it'd be yeah, you kind of loop down. Well, you come down between Knoxville Station, and the Southern Railway Station. Knoxville's got a couple of different train stations. Before turning back up north. And then quite suddenly, you lose the thread. Well, the thread's still there, but it's like you can't see where it's at. Like you're latched onto the gloves, they didn't suddenly get destroyed or anything. That would break the effect because the object wouldn't be there to track anymore.
Yeah.
But you feel like something is preventing you from seeing now. And you can think of, a few ways somebody might be able to do that. But they'd either have to know that there was a reason to do that, or have entered somewhere that was just always protected. Somewhere warded against eavesdroppers or warded against, any sort of clairvoyance. Y'all pull up to a intersection, Sandy stops the stoplight. All right, which way here?
They seem to have entered some warded area. I can still feel them, I just can't see them anymore.
Right, so they're still somewhere. Well, you're not getting directions now. So what do we do now?
Would there be some kind of roll I have to make to try to figure out where that location might be? I have another idea, but I want to see if this works first.
If you were close to the wards, you might be, or whatever it is blocking it, you might be able to try to overpower them.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be as simple as if it's something temporary that some worker put up, just overpowering it. On the other hand, if it's something that's been laid down and has some permanence to it, like the wards around your farm, your land, or the Calder land.
Yeah.
That's probably not something you're going to pull off just spur of the moment.
Fantastic, it is now. I'm gonna player intrude. I'm gonna use sudden insight and get a clear vision as to where she is.
Okay. You concentrate, and you wind up sending your sight. It's almost like your eyesight is following along the thread.
Mm-hmm.
Everything around you is blurry, so you can't necessarily, pick exactly what streets or whatever you're traveling on.
Mm-hmm.
But you do manage to catch the Knoxville Rail Works.
Mm-hmm.
And then off slightly to one side of it, it's like, from your point of view, it's like you're just rocketing forward, seeing all this. And suddenly you get to like the entrance to this place.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like that rocketing forward stops, like you slammed into a barrier.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see past that. You see a building, you see the B&L logo, and you see some people carrying Mace past a window. Like they're inside the building already, but they pass through a window where you get a clear view of her.
Knoxville Rail Works.
Right, well, like an offshoot of it.
No, he's saying that.
Oh, to her. Oh, to Sandy.
Yeah.
And he's like, got it. And she makes like she's about to run the red light. And then she's got, crap, the fuzz. Everybody looking inconspicuous. As the police come by.
Hi, I'm a dog.
You look like a wolf.
He's a
Yep.
wolf dog.
Meanwhile,
He'll get in the
Alexander just
floorboard.
staring straight ahead.
Are
He'll
your
get in
eyes
the
still glowing?
floorboard.
Oh, your eyes would still be glowing, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
Zeke will get in the floorboard and shift into an actual dog. And then just lay there.
Which Sandy then takes the sunglasses off the top of her head and then sticks them on top of Alex's face.
If only she had thought of that before.
Lucille's gonna take her hat and force it onto
No,
Alexander's head.
you're only thinking about it because I mentioned it. So we're gonna give the old police officers an even or odd roll.
Oh
Okay.
dear.
So Eric, even or odd?
This is
Well,
terrible.
I guess I'll roll it with the dice rollers to be fair.
Even.
You literally said that after the number popped up.
Well, no,
You said even.
No, so here's the
The
thing.
number popped up, and then you said even.
Yes. When you give me even or odds, I roll one, and if it's even or odd, then I say that, and then that's the answer for your roll.
Okay.
That's
A little
how I do
weird.
these.
A little weird, but okay. I'll accept it.
So I don't have to make a decision. Pretty much.
Hey.
Okay.
So they do not react. You're pretty sure one officer kind of glances at you, but maybe he shrugged his shoulders and decided, guy's wearing mirrored
Pretty
shades
light.
or something.
Yeah.
And it just caught the light funny. Or maybe he looked at it and went, too close to the end of my shift to worry about that.
Fair.
Whatever the case, light changes, Sandy takes off.
Mhm.
I'll put that hat on him still.
Put it on there, tilt it forward.
He just has a cowboy hat now. Just
Mhm.
Probably a little small for him.
you'll live.
Uh,
It's the best that she's got right now.
so y'all start passing the Knoxville Rail Works.
Mhm.
She's like, is this where we need to be, or is this just the area?
Does he see the building that he saw?
As you drive by it, you'll pass by it, and then just right next to it is the like B&L's area. It's more or less attached to the rail works.
How slow is she driving?
At this point, she's slowed down. She's probably doing like 30.
There.
The B&L offices. If they brought her here, we'd probably have a little time. I mean, I can't imagine they drag her this far if they were just going to let them things eat her. How are B&L involved, though?
We can find out.
All right, well, we need to meet back up with everybody else. I mean, you're not planning to just barge in there, are you?
Alex,
Considering it.
no.
I understand.
Quickly, pull out the rolled up newspaper.
But if you just
Zeke
charge
whimpers.
in there and die in their front lawn, you're not doing her any good. Let's go back to where we parked our cars. Hopefully the other group will be there by then. I'll call Claire and see if she's got... this isn't really in our territory, so I don't know if she'd have maps of this place or not.
Alex,
Then find someone who does.
Alexander,
Yeah.
Cyrus can help infiltrate. It would be better with him.
And y'all are like, it's like y'all are still working to talk Alexander into this. Sandy's already turning the car. You know, she's already looping around the next street over and back, heading back the way y'all came. She's keeping a sharp lookout for the cops, but she is driving a little fast.
I need to roll something to persuade, because I will.
So Cyrus, you and your group, you know, you go back, you come out where y'all went in at, or maybe you just walk, you know, street side or top side, you know, just walk back to where you. And y'all been waiting there. You waited there for 20, 30 minutes. And then the other group pulls up in a vehicle you do not recognize.
I turned to the kids. She found a Grand Theft Auto.
Kit Kat kind of shrugs. Dan goes, I wouldn't say fond of. Familiar with.
Gotcha.
So yeah, she pulls into that alleyway where y'all originally entered. And you see, you know, Cyrus and all of them standing around.
Kind of lean in. Did you find? And since I don't see Mace, I just ask, did you track them where they took her?
E&L office.
That does not surprise me.
No, it doesn't.
Also found the nest. They cleaned it out. We counted a possibility of at least 11 of them. I don't know if we can subtract the 2 we killed. But
I think y'all killed like 3 or 4.
Yeah, as I said,
I think it was 4.
Not subtracting the ones we killed.
Yeah.
But
number 5 got away with Mace, so yeah.
Them being B&L does not shock me, considering apparently a man with a pair of boots, a tweed shirt, and a duster was leading the pack out and climbed into a B&L van.
Well, it's more like one of those little delivery trucks. Not a full diesel-sized truck.
Yeah.
He looks over to the crew that was with Cyrus, because me, the player, have forgotten their names. It was a long day at work.
Looking over at who now?
The ones that accompanied Cyrus.
Darnell, Kit Kat, and Dan.
Darnell.
And my Zeke.
Yeah. I forgot about other Zeke.
So he's mostly looking at Darnell. You happen to know anything about that office? Other than it's warded.
That would explain why some people we try to send in there can't make it through.
Nothing a vehicle traveling at high speed can't fix.
Hate to bring this up, but
Yeah, I see it. I mean, I see it because Nick's posted about it, but the bot has been banned. All right.
Running headlong in's gonna get you killed. It's not gonna do Mace any good. We need to scout that place out, and then we can get her.
With what if the wards don't let you in?
Then he's like, all right. Let me call Claire and let her know what's going on. And she like, where y'all are parked behind, this little strip mall type thing. She walks around to the front where there's a payphone. Like one of the old open the door, step in, close the door types.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because those just started to go away in the 70s, because that was even a joke in the old Superman.
Mm-hmm. I think phone calls were probably a dime at that point. Best I can remember from 70s songs.
Yeah.
Uh, so she's gone for a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes back. Darnell's just kind of looking at her. Dan and Kit Kat are looking at her. Dan's like, how'd she take it? Let's say she's unhappy. And just leave it at
And
that.
I actually asked Alexander this.
Mm-hmm.
They would they need to carry the group with them to get through the wards? I'm asking about the yellatooth. Is that part of the reason why the man was there to allow them through, or would that stop them regardless? I'm asking because I know a little about magic, but you're the one that actually knows this.
It depends on the nature of the wards in question. It could be anything from defensive to offensive, and anything from you simply being keyed into them to having to have the creator be with you to prevent them from reacting in the first place. There's a whole litany of ward schemes that it could be.
And here's one that I have to ask. These wards would still go to the underground as well, correct?
It could, but it won't matter.
Why won't it matter?
Because I can sunder defenses all the same.
Well,
Sandy speaks up. When you do that, they're going to know for I mean, when you do that, that's going to cause quite a reaction. We're going to need to get in fast.
in that case, and this is. You might not be happy about it, but it gives us an option. When you sutter their defenses, they know exactly which area it would be at. Would that cut the defenses from all of the facility?
Depends on how broad the ward is,
Because if
how
we
many
can get,
layers there are.
because if we can actually cut we can figure that out. When you cut them, they might make a good distraction. One group draw them out, run away if need be. Other group goes in.
Sandy speaks up. Claire did say she had some maps of the facility.
Well,
Or, the blueprints or whatever of what was filed with the city. I'm sure B&L have made their own little changes since then.
it gives us something to work with. Well, guess we are going to that bar tonight.
So we are. Unless she's coming to meet us here.
I know she was expecting me to swing by and pick the maps up.
That gives us.
Then let's go.
All right, so y'all load up in the vehicles you originally came in.
That
Sandy
job
takes a
kinda
moment
turned
to pull out a a cloth and kind of wipe the car down where she was, where she touched anything.
Because DNA evidence was barely used.
But fingerprints were a thing.
Yeah.
So she like wipes down the steering column and whatever she touched on the outside door. Any handles y'all would have used.
Yeah.
She's like, they'll report it stolen in the morning. The cops will find it sitting out here like this pretty quick. So.
Be right back.
Okay. So y'all head back over to Whiskey River, which Cyrus has been to before, but I guess this is the first time the rest of y'all have been there.
Yep.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's fairly late by this point. So like the work staff is still there, and they're kind of ushering the last few customers out.
Step out of the car, smelling like sewer.
There's a few people catch whiffs of interesting smells from some of you guys. You didn't roll around in poo water or anything, so you're not just you're not stinking up the entire room. But when one of the waitresses walks past you guys as a group, they are kind of like, but they don't ask any questions. Bartender's like, we're closed, so I can't sell you any drinks, but I'm free to give you some. Any of y'all want anything? Zeke immediately puts in an order.
Is the boss in?
Oh yeah, she's upstairs. And as soon as y'all walked in, Sandy headed upstairs.
Do you got a rag and a little bit of soap? Hopefully get some of the stink off me.
Yeah. He reaches under, he pulls out some, it's probably more of a dishcloth than a wash rag.
Yeah.
But, and then he's like, there's soap, soap and sink in the bathroom.
Mick.
I go get some of the scent off of me.
All right, so Sandy comes back downstairs pretty quickly with the map, spreads it out on one of the tables.
Mm-hmm.
Tells Darnell Claire wants to see him. So Darnell heads upstairs. So she's like, okay, so here's the rail works, here's B&L's own little section. They always got pretty tight security.
Mm-hmm.
It's right down in kind of the downtown, main downtown area, though. Seems weird that they'd be dragging critters like that there, but though they were going to ship them out somewhere else, they might ship them out by rail, I guess.
That would be the easiest way to do it.
I'm sure they've got inspectors and stuff bought off.
Matter if the train derails.
I would prefer not to be considered a terrorist.
Sandy's like, that's obviously we're gonna make some noise doing this, but let's not do something that's gonna have, you know, all the
actual
city's
cops
police
come
after
on.
us, and maybe state troopers, or maybe the National Guard if we derail a train. I don't know. I don't know exactly how much heat we'd be bringing down on us.
Well, that depends.
Besides, I think our primary concern for tonight is getting Mace back.
Quite true. So do we have everything we need?
I'm looking at the.
You're in the bathroom scrubbing.
When do I return?
Yeah, you return. You know, Sandy's pointing out stuff on the, you know.
I look and actually immediately start scanning for points of ingress.
There's loading docks.
Essentially-
There's windows. That it's the type of building that's got a lot of like sun or not sunroofs.
Skylights.
Skylights. Thank you. All along the top.
Question.
Mhm.
How well did I get a look into that window that I saw Mace getting drug around by?
Like you were standing on the street and looking through the window. It was just in focus enough that you could see Mace. Looked like they were dragging her upstairs, basically.
Good to know. Okay. I have an idea.
That's even more terrifying.
Are you going to share?
I might be able to get us in there.
Out of character. Can we not piss off the railroad man, please?
He doesn't like being ill. Though he probably wouldn't like you derailing a train. That's
what I was getting at. Don't derail the train. He's not happy about that.
You know, they say sometimes if you put a penny on the track, it can derail a train. Not usually, but every now and then. So what would happen if you took a roll of pennies and hit the railroad man with them? Is that like his secret weakness?
Thought.
Yet another bot.
What? Another bot? I don't see one. Sandy does tell you, Claire should have Darnell calling around, so we may have some reinforcements going in.
And
if there's not a, well, if the people that, you know, do our thing in that part of town, you know, don't
which group
get fussy about it.
And I ask, which group handles that?
There's a fella named Quentin that's kind of in charge over that way.
And would he get fussy about it?
He's a fussy little son of a gun.
Would he come here?
Oh, I would love to see him in the honky tonk. But yeah, if it was for business, he'd come here. You know, might be holding his nose as he walked in or something. But
I take it one of the, call it, more socialite types.
Yeah, a little more high society, highfalutin. Does not seem to think much of Claire.
Would it be possible for me to go talk with him?
Maybe. I mean, we're trying to move fast.
You know his number.
I don't off the top of my head. I'm sure Claire's got it. I'll go up and ask her. Though she's probably already talking to him. I really don't know how Quentin would respond to just randos calling him, or random people calling him up.
I don't know how much weight her name carries here.
I doubt anybody in town knows you. Claire only kind of knows, a couple of y'all because she's from Ryan.
Mind if I follow you up then?
She's up there talking business on the phone. Probably better if I just went up on my own.
Well,
Everybody roll me
basically,
perception checks.
Okay. Are we considered trained being near Lucille right now?
Yes.
I believe so.
Cool. What's the
What's
difficulty?
difficulty?
You're welcome, everyone.
Appreciate you.
Well, I'm trained in perception, period, but let's go with that.
Difficulty is 6.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Difficulty is 6.
Is 6.
But we have an asset.
Yes, you have a
Everyone has an
Lucille.
asset but me.
Mm-hmm.
Success.
I'm also doing the enable others, so everybody gets a second asset because of help. I can't help myself with that.
And that is why you fail.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. Even though I'm a dog.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Jason's too happy about that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just always happy with an intrusion. I don't actually have a specific idea for what to do here.
Yeah.
But all right. So Patrick made it, or Cyrus made it.
Yep.
When Alexander suggests going upstairs, there is like a tension that runs through Sandy, Kit Kat, and Dan. And the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
That they try to cover, and they do a decent job of covering. They got decent poker faces. But you definitely picked up on it. Carr picked up, or Zeke picked up on
I
nothing.
picked up on it.
Yeah, Cyrus picked up on it. Zeke did not.
Zeke's head is just leaned against Lulu's leg.
Lulu also noticed it.
I forgot what I noticed. I am not perceptive IRL.
There's a tension in their face.
Yeah, when Alexander suggested going upstairs, they got tense. And then, she tried, Sandy kind of brushed it off. No, they're talking business up there. I should probably go up alone. Alexander is intently studying the map, so, just seems to take her excuses, I mean, her comment, it's whatever. What would be a good intrusion? Because you're not really taking actions that I can act against here, right at this moment.
Really, you're just being an ass.
Well, these opportunities come up so rarely that I do like to use them. Yeah, well, I'll give him a disadvantage or whatever on a roll later. As long as it's still within this scene.
Mm-hmm.
Just for how distracted you are. So anyway, y'all notice that. Sandy heads upstairs.
And
I'm trying to decide if I want to push it or not.
While you're deciding that, she goes upstairs, and
I
like
will
Patrick,
actually-
unlike before, when last time you were here, there was constantly music playing down here. It's pretty quiet now.
Yeah.
So you hear, well, you probably don't hear Sandy open the door, but you hear Claire yell at her, "How did you lose her?" And then the door shuts. Some yelling continues, but the door, a door must shut and cut it off.
Yeah.
Claire sounds a little pissed though.
Mm-hmm.
And I also walk up next to Alex and asks, "Are you planning on porting in?" Are you planning on opening a gate?
It's a possibility.
Well, because we can't have, if we're going to have a plan, it needs to be shared with everybody. No secrets in this regards, and I know people like you like to keep them. If everybody's getting out of here alive, that includes Mace, we can't keep that from everybody. If there is a plan, everyone needs to know it.
And Dan looks Dan and Kit Kat both look very interested. No, the bartender too, to some degree. But
Not like it'd be hard. It depends on how their wards are even set up to begin with. And again, most people don't expect people to pop inside the building.
Dan's like, yeah, but B&L ain't exactly normal people.
What floor did I see this on?
The window you saw was like a big front window.
Mm-hmm.
So it was probably like the like a foyer. At the bottom of the window was a desk. It's kind of up against that back wall. There were stairs going up, and that's where you saw Dragon Mace.
Okay.
You're not sure how many stories there are to this building. They were at least taking it to the second floor, though.
Mm-hmm. Well, we were there physically. We know how many stories there are.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah. And while you're right about that, I highly doubt they know enough about wards to be able to cover everything. A ward scheme is entirely dependent on the location it's done in.
And this place ain't exactly old.
Well, it's not old. It has no natural defenses.
It's not exactly new. The
rail yard's probably
it's been there for a minute.
Yeah.
It's not like centuries old or anything like that. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's certainly not old like some of the places in the mountains. But...
Yeah. It has no natural barriers. And if this is a place of business, the amount of wards they'd have inside would be limited. After all, how many of your actual businessmen are you going to want accidentally stumbling across the wards inside the building, potentially setting them off?
Now, you also got to remember it's B&L. So, if you're dealing with them, half the people they work with ain't natural either.
Huh? Either way, I might be able to get us in without having to go through the front door.
And looking at what little designs we have, if getting in isn't going to be the issue, getting out, that's the problem. I look at
Again, that's wards. Most wards
Yeah.
are designed to keep people out. It's very rare you have wards that keep people in, especially for a place of high traffic like that.
You
I
hear
wasn't
more
talking
raised
about-
voices from upstairs as somebody has presumably opened the office door. This time it sounds like Claire is yelling at Darnell.
And to which I actually respond, I actually wasn't talking about the wards in that case. I was talking about the map. I'm actually checking for where we're going to be going in. What's the best way for a group to get out?
All I know is that she was at least being taken up to the second floor.
All right. Start looking at the maps and working out the details.
Sandy walks up. Yeah, we'll definitely want multiple exit plans.
Yep.
So Quentin is being an ass. While he's certainly concerned about, critters being drug into his little area, he's not that concerned about, one missing person.
The temperature in the bar plummets.
Alex, your
So
head will prevail.
that
Keep your
Darnell seems to be in a bit of a tight spot too. He's called his people, but they're not willing to make a move in Quentin's territory. It could cause some infighting that they're just not willing to do for somebody they don't know.
Okay, so there's this area. It's and about to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
This is me asking to Sandy and them. So you're more of a loose alliance to border on gang area? Is that how I can best describe this group?
That makes it sound worse than it is most of the time. I mean, we can go anywhere in town we want to go. It's just something like kicking over the anthill that is B&L. There could be issues if you run into somebody else's territory and do that and leave them a mess.
Yeah, it is like kicking over a sewage truck.
His eyes narrow a little bit.
Don't worry. Claire is in this to win this. We just may not have the backup we were hoping for. Quentin's... He's been in this game a lot longer than some of the folks around here, so... I wouldn't say any of us particularly like him. But most folks are real hesitant to cross him.
I'm not.
Well, you should probably be cautious. Like I said, we're getting her out. But I just don't know how much help. I mean, Claire's calling some more of our people, but
And is Quentin going to try and stop us?
that I don't know. He's pretty used to people not going against his wishes. So he may not be if he says no, he may not be expecting us to actually do it anyway. Depending on how much Claire yelled over the phone.
Whatever drink Alexander has in his hand just turns to solid ice at this point.
Well, not vodka then, because that wouldn't freeze.
Yeah.
But a beer. Beer's probably got enough water in it.
To which I say,
Mhm.
yes, yes, Alex, you're very scary. Now, and I turned to
Kit Kat.
Lucille.
Dan and Kit Kat are looking at him like maybe he is.
I actually turned to Lucille and asked, you said you might be able to smooth it over, or not?
It is possible that I can smooth over his utterly fragile ego for this. Emphasis on the might. I'm not sure how easily swayed he is to flowery prose.
Well, right now, we have nothing, so we can move the needle a little, it might help.
Then you hear more yelling coming from upstairs. As
And
Claire is
get
basically
with
screaming, if you're not going to help, get out.
He gets up.
I don't
Darnell's coming down the stairs. And to his credit, he looks very unhappy with the situation.
Well,
Cyrus, I don't know if I can fix it after that.
Darnell's like, I'm sorry to leave you guys in the lurch. But my boss ain't. Look, the boss of that area, he says it's no go. It's not. That's not a fight worth picking. My boss ain't willing to cross him. There's nothing I can do. My hands are tied.
is he still on the phone?
She was still talking to somebody.
Is he still
Alexander.
talking to that pompous prick?
Alexander.
I don't know who she was talking to at this point. I know Quentin had hung up on her at least once.
I'm gonna go outside before I freeze the rest of this bar.
That would be for the best.
Alexander steps outside. As Alexander steps outside, Darnell kind of looks back at you. That white boy's kind of intense.
He's a winter, and you took one of his closest friends have been taken.
Yeah, close friend. I'm sure that's all it was to get that kind of reaction.
That wouldn't shock me in the slightest. Anyway, so you're...
Yeah, I'm basically being called back home, so
Understood.
I wish y'all the best. I really hope this works out. And he gives Kit Kat and Dan a little nod on his way out.
I get with Zeke, and we're still formulating basically the exfil strategy. Looking at the maps.
Mm-hmm.
And to which I also kind of turn to Lucille and kind of go, keep an eye on Alex, because I'm concerned he's going to do something stupid.
I was gonna see if I could attempt at nudging that needle.
Sandy's like, he seems like a smart boy.
Yeah, but unfortunately, Tell me something. Have you ever gotten into a situation, someone you care about, and suddenly you got real dumb?
Yeah, maybe a time or two.
He's in that state right now.
Come to think of it, it's kind of how I got involved in all of this.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at the wolf, the wolf Zeke, and with her head gesture for him to go comfort Alexander.
He will trot outside and sit next to Alexander. Where is Alexander at this moment? Sorry.
He's outside, just found a chair somewhere and sat down.
You now have dog Zeke sitting in front of you, head in lap, looking up at you.
Riches.
Wagging tail.
Out there, he just looks down at Zeke and is like, I have absolutely no idea what I could do to that place.
There's a whimper.
Okay. Sarah's in chat.
Now that Zeke is out comforting Alex, despite the fact that it is very clear that she should not be going upstairs, she's gonna try and do it anyway.
Are you trying to be kind of stealthy about it, nonchalant about it? Because you would have noticed coming in that the stairs upstairs are right next to a hallway that leads back to the bathrooms.
Nonchalant.
Okay.
Not trying to draw attention.
Yeah. You're not like hiding in the shadows, kind of sneaking, but
She can't be like Cyrus, unfortunately.
But you can give me a stealth roll.
Oh God, what is that under?
That would be Dex, if you don't have it.
Yep.
That speed.
Yes.
This is gonna be fun. What difficulty?
We will say difficulty 5. Because the workers of this area, they're a little distracted coming up with this plan. And like the wait staff are pretty much gone now. It's the bartender's still here. But he's also looking over the maps.
This might be an instance where I'm gonna have to charm my way out rather than sneak my way out. Oh dear.
All right, what strategy are you trying to use to get upstairs?
Just like excused herself to like the bathroom or something.
Okay, that's okay. All right, so you gotta go powder your nose. All right.
And things. Try and roll. This is gonna be terrible out of 5.
And despite this being a bar and you going to the bathroom, neither Kit Kat nor Sandy suddenly volunteer to go with you.
We're not close enough for that.
Maybe not. All right, so that was the. Have you made a roll yet?
I have not. I'm deliberating on the effort.
What else are you using your points for? It's almost 9:30. Smoke them if you got them.
Sure. Ooh, that's a 4. That's not a 5. Jesus, that costs so much.
All right. So be sure to take off the appropriate points for effort. Difficulty 5, effort 2, drops down to 3. Okay, yep, that is a pass. So you're like, got a powder nose, or whatever the euphemism was in the 70s, and you just get just vague head nods of acknowledgement. They don't pay much attention to it. And you slip over, glancing over your shoulder. Nobody's looking in your direction. Quietly up the stairs. You hear, as you get upstairs, you can hear, a raised voice coming from the office. As somebody, presumably this Claire person you've heard references to, yeah, she's not screaming into the phone, but her voice is still raised as she is telling someone in no uncertain terms that you owe me a favor.
Oh dear.
Doesn't care about Quentin. Want to sit on his ass and not do anything. Fat cat's has gotten too comfortable.
Mm.
The intrusions we deal with coming from outside of town, there he is, nestled in the middle of it like a fat spider in the middle of its web.
All the colorful allegories and insults here.
But she sounds angry, very upset. But now that you're up here, Lucille, what you gonna do?
He's gonna listen for a bit, just because now she's curious as to what's being said, at least on Claire's end.
Okay, yeah, you can only hear Claire's end, but the phone's not that loud. It's not a speakerphone or anything.
And then after some time, he's going to sort of knock, then like open the door.
She gives you the up and down, like, who the F are you? Keeps talking on the phone. Kind of, after a moment, gestures for you to come on in.
Walks in, shuts the door.
Well, you're thinking about it's not good enough. Think quick. She hangs up. I assume you're one of Cyrus's friends.
That I am.
I assume you're sneaky like Cyrus is. Otherwise, how did you get up here?
Not quite. But I do make a very convincing person.
Well, what do you need?
She gestures with her head towards the phone to try and smooth out and nudge things more in our favor. Yelling at them is not going to help.
Well, I didn't start off yelling at him. That was plan B.
And how's plan B working out?
About as well as plan A did.
Sounds about right.
And I doubt any of the relevant people would even talk to you. These little groups of ours are not big on outsiders. How is Alec? How is the rest of your group handling this?
Alexander is currently outside trying not to freeze your whole bar down.
Oh, I don't think you can freeze a bar down, but I get what
We
you're
will
saying.
certainly try to get to her.
Looks at the window, it's frosted over.
Maybe.
Yeah, just the bench around him is a little frosted up. There's some.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Zeke, if your head is still in his lap, there may be some frost on your fur, and you can see your breath as the dog is panting.
Do not stick your tongue out. Do not stick your tongue out.
You don't sound like you're from Ryan.
I am not.
You got a little bit more of that Texas drawl to you.
You'd be right.
Haven't been back home in quite a while, huh? How is the place?
Trouble has been stirred up there just as much as it's been here. BNL is the cause.
Mm. What are they doing there, though? The railroad never really came through there. Well, I mean, they were involved. Well, they had that mining operation, but that mine played out a while back. It was never one of their real profitable ones, anyway.
They tried to take another one of ours.
Who?
They tried to take Zeke. I guess currently he's a dog right now.
Uh, is that just something he does? I mean, I've seen Stranger.
He can become practically any animal.
So what did they want with him?
It's just his father works for Locke.
Who's his father?
Bargain. I know it's Thomas. I forgot which Thomas.
I believe Jonathan Thomas.
Jonathan Thomas.
Car can correct me if I'm mistaken. Oh well, he's not back yet. We'll ask him when he gets back to be sure.
It's Jonathan Thomas. I have it written in her stuff.
He works for Locke. She jumps up and runs over and starts going through one of her filing cabinets. Hell, he may be an actual cousin. Like not closely related to the main family, but and Alexander said the place was warded. Lucille, you suddenly see her get very excited, and she runs towards the door and downstairs.
She's gonna follow after because with the utmost confusion on her face.
So Cyrus, you see Claire running down the stairs, looking excited. Lucille looks a little confused coming down behind her. Everybody else looks up. Uh, Sandy, Kit Kat, Dan, the bartender, that crew, Claire's crew, basically, all look like weirdly surprised to see her. And she basically runs down. Where's the dog boy? The dog boy, he can get you through the ward. He's in the family.
Like I say, follow me, please. And lead her outside.
She steps outside, and the beast's like, "Oh shit!" and starts to duck back in.
I take it.
Sorry, what happened? Hi.
All right, quick question.
When
Claire... hang on. Zeke's dad's name is Jonathan, right?
Yes.
Jonathan Thomas. All right, we make sure we got that right. Carry on, Patrick.
I kind of, when she has to duck back in, I take it this place is specifically warded to keep you hidden.
What? No.
Okay.
Huh?
No, because Claire ducked back inside. That's why I was asking her about that. So.
No. So anyway, Claire steps outside. She's like, outside. Alexander, Zeke, y'all might have heard a little bit of this. Muffled. And then the door flings open. You hear somebody take a couple quick steps out and then go, "Oh shit!" and start to duck back in. Give me perception checks. Zeke and Alexander.
I'm enabling Alexander.
Yeah.
Alexander
difficulty?
also has a -1 on him from that previous intrusion.
There.
It's a
So
flat.
What's the difficulty?
That flattens it out.
Yeah, what's the difficulty?
Oh, let's see. What with her? Can't really say she's doing stealth here. Oh, but fast movement she does have. This is the 6.
Okay.
My God.
Failed. What? Oh, okay. So
your head snaps up, but she's already moving back in the doorway. You don't get a good look at her.
Mm-hmm.
It was some lady.
Yeah.
But like she doesn't shut the door. The door's still open. So you hear some lady, telling Sandy, "Fill him in on what I just said. I gotta get back upstairs."
I come in, I walk out and basically explain, we may have found a solution to the problem. Come back in.
Gets up.
I didn't. Oh, Zeke will follow Alexander in.
Sandy's like, okay, Zeke, apparently you're the key, maybe? Because you're part of the family? She didn't actually fill us in on exactly what's going on.
He said
Alexander just
something about he might be a cousin of the main family of the Locks.
Which him being blood related would let him through any ward they make. For the most part.
Dan's like, oh, good. This may have gotten simpler. Now we only have to storm the heavily fortified enemy stronghold.
Well, that's at least one complication. But it also means the exfil might be easier. If we can get in, grab her, can you gate us out?
Yeah, I could.
Says, all right, this gate thing's been mentioned a time or two. What's... Oh, no, excuse me, Dan would say that because Dan was the one that was downstairs when I first talked about it. So Dan's like, what is this gate thing you keep mentioning?
He just
I
holds
think
up a
Mace-
pencil.
I basically do the slight dramatic flourish of letting Alex explain it.
And Alex's explanation is to hold up a pencil.
Twirls it between his fingers a bit. Puts it back.
A pencil.
He can make doors.
Oh. So you can draw a door like Bugs Bunny.
It works.
Kit Kat snorts. But looks excited at the idea.
Unlike that rabbit, I have to actually have seen where I'm going.
But you have seen outside this building.
I've seen inside this building too.
Sandy's like, let's not open doorways from their, from their place directly here.
One option we have, and I actually point out, essentially where we were ambushed, because it would give us a place that we will not be seen, and also a place we're familiar with.
Well, if you're down in the sewers, because I think it has to open up to a door. Where you're going has to be a door. Has to be a doorway, doesn't it?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So you can just draw it on the wall, and it'll just be another doorway.
It just
on the other wall.
it just has the surface just has to be large enough.
Okay.
It's there. I linked it.
Okay.
Kind of solid.
The lid.
Hmm?
Salad object. The lid object.
A lid object.
Soiled object. What?
SALID. It's a
I
here.
did it
Yeah.
I mean, there was a fumble earlier with persuasion. It was persuasion.
Persuasion.
Persuaded me. Hello?
Oh yeah, we're still here.
Hello.
Oh, just get.
Yeah,
everyone
everybody
gets
got quiet all at
suddenly.
once.
It's like, what?
Let's see. All right, so Sandy's like, all right. So the plan. So right now, let me see if I can get this. Right now, our plan is bust in there somehow. Probably using Zeke to get through whatever wards I've got set up. That's not necessarily going to help us dealing with their security. But once we get in there and as long as we stay together, we get in there, we get her. We can pretty much get out immediately, is what I'm understanding.
Assuming everything goes according to plan. So currently that is plan A.
All right.
Now we got to work on the plan B in case things go wrong.
When things go wrong. Things will always go wrong.
You are correct.
How big a crew do we want to go in there with? I mean, smaller moves faster, but we got to have enough to handle whatever we run into.
Correct. Looking at the map they have, at least of what they sent to the city, it's definitely what they don't have on there currently, or things they've changed.
Yeah. But, definitely got the outline, the outside of the building. That part.
But if you needed to keep a group of critters that big, where would they actually need to store them? Because you probably don't want that group even near like just their regular employees, even though they might be used to weirdness.
I have an above game question after you answer this.
All right. So the rail works, of course, makes rails. You know, literally makes the rail the actual rails themselves. B and L's little facility. It's like they kind of have their own thing kind of next door to it. Which doesn't make the rails themselves. They contract that out to the main rail works. But they do make like spare parts for trains. You know, it's still a factor. They're still making stuff. They have enough room in there to actually pull an engine in if they need to. But unless they've got some kind of big secret basement that's like not on these plans, your best guess would be that they would probably have like an empty rail car in there to stick them in. You know, to keep them out of sight of any workers. And then, you know, you just bring in an engine and hook it up to it, and then you can drag it off wherever you want to. Well, that's along the railway. It doesn't strike you as a place that you would keep creatures like this long term.
Yeah.
From upstairs, you hear Claire call down. You should probably get a move on. I'm betting Quentin won't expect, you know, as late as it is, I'm sure Quentin won't be expecting us to try something tonight.
Well, she's got a point.
I had all recognize that voice.
Give me a perception roll.
What difficulty?
We're gonna go with 5.
So while he's rolling, Jason, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If we tier up between now and next session, can we use the abilities from the tier up?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay. Because
though when you first
Zeke
said
would
tear
have
up, I immediately mentioned you like water, eyes watering.
No. Sorry.
But yes, I get completely what you're saying. I understand
because
exactly what you're saying.
Zeke would
the
get an
image.
ability that would help the infiltration team if there was an infiltration team when
Oh,
he
you're
tears up.
gonna metagame a little bit. I see.
No, that's why I asked the question. I didn't want to like.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. So I'm gonna send this to you over the Discord. Okay. It's not gonna stay a big secret, but just so you can decide how you react. Assuming I can find you in here.
Alexander gets secret.
Well, like I said, it's not gonna be something that stays a secret, but.
She's Kilroy. Kilroy.
With
All right.
So we are allowed to use whatever we gain before the next session. That's what I'm hearing.
Correct.
Yeah. If you modify your character between sessions, you're good to go.
Well, I was curious. Is it just a tier, or say you used a point to gain a new ability from?
No,
yeah. Any alterations you make like that, you can use next time.
Then I'm going to have it said that this is in effect because that is a cost thing that I have to worry over. It's very similar to Good Talk. It's just it provides more buffs.
It's the better version. It's improved good talk.
It doesn't say anything about them not working together, so
Oops, I spelled that wrong. I think I still spelled that wrong.
I should
no,
probably
there's
remove
no
the
U in there.
cost and all the stuff that my edge covers.
There you go. So how does Alexander react to this?
He pauses, looks up, and goes, "Well, I guess that explains the yelling."
Everybody else at the table's like, what?
I'm gonna do my job, Claire. You do yours. After all, a winter always has to take care of a Calder. And he
From upstairs,
marches
you just
out
hear,
the door.
son of a bitch. She comes stomping down the stairs. I guess there's no point now of me staying up there now.
No, there really isn't.
She has not aged a day since the last time you saw her.
You haven't aged a day.
Flatterer?
Is this why you stayed upstairs this whole time? When you knew that Maggie and I were in town?
She needs to not know about this.
Why?
She doesn't seem to have a good reason. She like freezes up, like, I don't know how she would handle it.
I think she would enjoy having more family around.
There's complications.
Is she downstairs or are they upstairs?
She has come down. She comes stomping down. When Alexander called her out, she came stomping downstairs.
Okay.
Complications like you probably being the one that Granny's talking to?
Maggie was already getting suspicious, huh?
Yes. Yes, she was.
Zeke comes out of wolf form and just goes, "What?"
Not sure why you're surprised, Zeke. It's a winter's job to always take care of their Calders.
What?
And on that bombshell,
On that
Hey, it's
bombshell,
9:39.
we shall call it for the evening.
Yeah.
The second one was for another reason. Because it just processed for Zeke what was said.
So yes, hope y'all enjoyed tonight. I had fun. It's a shame Sarah couldn't have been here for it.
Oh, she was here for it.
She was only
For the
here.
last scene.
She was only here for in it for spirit, or here for it in spirit.
I disappear and I become the cousin of a BNL member? What the fuck?
But
Not
yeah,
bad.
I was going to swear you all to secrecy, but she's in the chat, so there was no point.
Yeah.
It was going to be, don't tell her nothing. Don't imply that she should watch the video. If she watches it, all fine and good.
She said she was going to when she got to the hotel.
Her exact words,
was
I'm
gonna
not
be
dead, I can still hear
Yes,
you.
yes.
Lucille has many things that she wants to say. She's too busy with the shock at the moment.
But anyway, I mean, hopefully Sarah will be back next week, so we'll just have to remind her that she has to play her character like she doesn't know this is going on. So anyway, anybody that came by that checked us out, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us again next week. Again, I was your
Except for
storyteller
you,
for the
bot.
evening. Well, yes, the bots are banned. But again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me has been Eric as Alexander, Carr as Zeke, Patrick as Cyrus,
Good night, everybody, and Sarah's still typing.
yes, and Nix as Lucille.
Bye.
And we will see y'all next time.
Bye-bye.
Good evening, and tune in next week.